Join us as our freediving journey takes us all around Norway in a quest for food and adventure. Discover with us why Norway is regarded as one of the best spearfishing and travel destinations in the world. This is Just Add Water, Spearfishing Norway, the podcast remedy for your lungs.
And so we are back again.
Finally, back again.
Finally.
In Norwegian.
Yes. No, not in Norwegian. This is the English version of our podcast, Ørjan.
Am I talking English now?
Yes, you are.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just got so used to it.
Yes. Welcome to yet another episode here of Just Add Water. The two crazy Norwegian guys, Ivan and what's your name?
My name is Ørjan.
Yes, and I assume that a lot of people out there in the world maybe are getting some trouble pronouncing your name.
Yeah, but just pronounce it like an O. Ørjan, it's good.
Orion, yes. So
yeah.
Orion. And Ivan, or Ivan?
Yeah, straight from Russia.
Straight from, from Kristiansund.
Straight from Rocky 3. Ivan Drago in there fighting from the left corner.
No, that's wrong. It was Rocky 4.
Rocky 4.
Yes, yeah, it was number 4.
It's a French word, Roquefort.
That's a cheese. Oh, yes. Well. Anyhow, we have a new episode here, and we have a great guest with us today.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about some, some big sea mammals.
Yeah, that's, of course, big and not so big. But with sharper teeth.
Sharper teeth.
Yeah.
Yes. What have you done today? Have you been out diving?
Yeah, we have been, me and this guest of ours.
Yes.
We have been diving today in the waters outside Kristiansund.
Yes.
And now it's midwinter, so it's quite cold, but the weather is nice, and the water is like 6 degrees Celsius, and we have been picking scallops. That
is something we are very proud of here in Norway. Our condition during the winter.
Yeah.
Although it's cold, it's snowing. It's like 4 degrees in temperatures in the sea.
But the days are getting lighter, and the visibility in the sea is like today 15 meters.
Yes.
Easy.
Yes.
And that's fantastic. I can talk to our guest about laying in the surface today.
Yes.
And picking scallops from the surface.
From the surface.
You can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then you go down 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then
yes. You can follow us on Facebook. Just search up Just Add Water. There you will find us. There we will post new episodes, post pictures, post stories. You can also join the web page on justaddwater.no. There you will find a link to all the episodes, the Norwegian ones.
And of course you have to learn Norwegian because all our previous episodes it has been in Norwegian.
Yes.
So it's an excellent moment to learn Norwegian.
Yes, but you will also find the English versions on that. Yes.
Have we translated all the Norwegians?
No.
You
have
to give our listeners something to struggle for, better.
Google artificial intelligence is not there yet.
Okay.
Yes, maybe someday.
We have to do it manually.
Yes. So let's just say hello to our guest in a moment.
Yeah.
And we'll
We'll be back.
You will be back.
You are listening to Just Add Water, Spearfishing Norway.
Okay, and then we're
Shall
back.
I try to introduce this guy?
Yes, because I asked him a little bit earlier about his name. How do you pronounce your surname?
His name is Fabrice Schnoller.
Yes.
And he's the first time I've heard of him. We've been friends now for 1.5 years about. And the first time I met him was at his house in La Gomera.
Okay, so welcome to us. I almost don't dare say his name. Fabrice?
That's good enough.
That's good enough? Or?
Schnoller.
Yeah, Schnoller.
That's it.
Yes. Welcome to us. Welcome to our tiny studio here in Norway.
Tusen tack.
Yes.
But I'm sorry to trouble you, Ivan, but I've not done introducing this guy yet.
No, keep on. Keep it coming.
So a mutual friend of ours is Alexander Nordahl. He's a photographer. And he says like, okay, you have to be nice to this guy because he's a important guy. You know, he's a celebrity.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Yes.
if you have read the book, The Deep of what is it called? The Nestor.
James Nestor.
James Nestor.
Yeah.
And
that was before you met him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was like, why? Yeah, because in this book he writes about this crazy French guy who is living in Tahiti, and he's an excellent freediver, and he's
Okay.
all these tales about this guy. So I was really kind of honored before so he's a celebrity, and he's a
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
have to be like yeah.
Are you for real now?
Looking at
Yes,
that's the story I heard from Alexander before we went to La Gomera.
And then you saw the truth.
And then I got to know him, and then it just got worse and worse. No,
Okay.
he's a fantastic man, and like the book said, an excellent freediver, a really good person, and nice, beautiful guy to be together with.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fabrice. So we see you later then. It's okay? Or what?
You don't need more?
You
don't want more?
That
But
was
I
all
think-
we needed.
I think this guy has some stories to tell us.
Yeah. So welcome again, Fabrice. I know that you was out diving today as well.
Yep. I was in the beautiful cold Norwegian water, but I learned something in Norway. There is no cold weather. There is only bad clothes.
Yes,
So I
yes,
was
that's
with a
something
good
we say.
Norwegian wetsuit,
Yeah.
and all was okay.
Yeah, but that's good. I have met you once before. And what are your connections to Norway?
I came for the weather.
Yeah, you came for the weather. Okay.
That's what we say usually. No, I came for a Norwegian woman.
Yeah.
Initially.
Really?
That
Yeah.
is, I think almost everyone does when they are moving to Norway. So why did you come to Norway? Because of a woman.
I discovered Norway like 2 years before. I was doing an expedition in Lofoten.
Okay.
And with orca. So and at this time I was this tropical guy because all my life I was living in Tahiti, in Caribbean, in Réunion, only coconut island, So I was like, okay, I'm going there, but I was surprised that I had no problem with the cold. That was very unexpected,
Yes,
because,
but you was thinking that maybe Norway and the cold and
I was really thinking, and I was only with a 5 millimeter this time because I didn't want to buy a wetsuit. So I was in January. And I was doing like 2 hours in the water, so I was okay. It's possible. It's not so crazy. But the thing is, when you are with orca, you don't feel the cold.
No,
You
okay.
have something else to think about.
You're so scared that you don't feel the cold.
Your brain, the
Or
brain sensor for
You're
the
so
cold is
scared that
disconnected.
you're constantly pissing in your suit, so when you won't be cold.
Yeah.
So then, okay, I saw this is possible. So then, and after I was coming, because I met this woman, and I was coming like passing half time with Norway. And surprisingly, I met quickly a lot of friends there.
Yeah.
Very good friends, So now it's 4 years later, and there is a lot of friends like Orion or
Yeah,
Raz, etc.
even a friend of mine has said to me, "You have got to say hello to Fabrice from me." He's Axel.
Yeah, exactly.
So whom did you meet first? That girl or that orca?
The orca.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the orca.
And the next follow-up question is that orca the girl or?
No, it was a big male. Big male with a big fin.
Yeah.
It was a very strange encounter because honestly, I've never been in cold water. I've never been with orca. I was with these very experienced people, like the guy that made this movie, International. They owned all these expedition clothes, the best wetsuit, everything. Yeah. And I was not supposed to go in the water, And I was just supposed to help them with some acoustic to find the orca. And after 2 days, the guy were like disappointed because it was super hot, super cold, and the orca were not staying. Were just trying to go and they were leaving. And at one point, they said to me, "Okay, if you want to go, you can go." And I had this day, I remember, the best of my life was just staying there, and I was going in the water, and the orca were leaving. And the guy said, "Come on back on the boat." No, I want to wait. I say, "What? I'm leaving. They're there." I said, "No, I prefer to wait because I was a bit pissed off because every time we were jumping in the water, the orca were leaving, taking the boat, doing it again. I don't like to do that. So just to make a point, I was staying like 1 hour in the water, not moving. And the guy was starting to yell a bit, you have to come back on the boat. And I had another friend on the boat, okay, let him go. Because anyway, they were not going in the water anymore. They wanted to go back to land, And at one point, all the orca came back.
Yeah,
really?
They surrounded me for another more
when
hour.
you were in the water.
Yeah, I was waiting 1 hour and there was a baby mother. First, a big male coming. First, there was a big male coming, And I remember it was very strange because my first encounter with an orca was he was coming straight to me, stopping like, I don't know, 1 meter from me, looking at me in the eyes, and he was clapping his jaw in front of me and looking like this.
Were you scared?
I was a bit surprised. It didn't feel like a threat, but still you don't like it. It was quite big. And after he was leaving and he was letting the mother and the baby play around. That was so it was a very, very beautiful experience. One of my best. The first one was one of my best. So then I was hooked. When you see you can do that in Norway, okay, let's go.
And this is not small animals.
Yeah,
the orcas are not small.
They are big. They are big. They are powerful, and they are super smart.
Yeah.
That make them even more, I would say, dangerous, even if they are not.
Yeah, but more calculating.
Yeah, definitely.
In both ways, both positive and negative.
They kind of have crazy social behaviors, and every social animal, you cannot really expect what's going on. You have to understand the code,
Yeah.
As a French, I'm going to Norway. I don't know the code, it's different. And they are like cultural animals, and something are alot, something are forbidden. But still, they never attack people, so it's okay.
Yeah, in the wild.
Yeah, in the wild, definitely. In the pool,
the pool is
nonsense.
I'm curious. You said what I asked you. What brought you to Norway? And then you said a woman. Of course, that's the classical one. But there must be something else. Work-wise, what do you do for a living?
So yes, just to explain you what I'm doing. So just to sum up briefly. Initially, I'm an engineer.
Yep.
So I specialize in mathematics. So a guy from my school, he go to bank or heading of big company. It's kind of Harvard in France. So I was working 10 years in this kind of company.
Yep.
And after I met, when I was 40, a pot of sperm whale in the wild. It changed my life. So after that, I wanted to do some oceanography. So I was 40. I said, okay, I stop what I'm doing. So I was doing a MSc in biology, and I said, okay, let's do some research to understand what happened that day when I was surrounded by 20 sperm whales, like 1 hour, they were making sound. So I had this idea that it was possible to study the communication of this animal from their point of view. What I mean, if there is an animal coming to you, making some sound, what level you can assume it is? Is it just barking, or is it something more? Is there any information? Is there any attempt of communication? So from the last 10 years, even now 14, I would say, I'm traveling all around the world and collecting evidence for my research of animals communicating underwater, so on different levels. And I'm very specialized in marine mammals because they are very evolved. We can assume they have kind of language, and they are very cooperative. They come to you and they emit a lot of sound. So then you ask a question: are they talking together? Are they talking to you?
Yes.
What are they saying? And it's not easy to study. So the thing is, when you meet this animal, you meet one sperm whale by chance. You need a place where the animal are staying. You don't want to meet a sperm whale and after it disappears, you will never see him again. The ideal situation is you can meet an animal again and again and again, and then you can do something. So I was living in a place I had that with dolphins. I created during 10 years a bond with a pod of dolphins, big dolphin. I had this in another island, that is Mauritius Island. That is an island where there is a lot of sperm whales that are very difficult to study, and I had the same thing. And after I discovered this was definitely possible in Norway, because in Norway there is this crazy gathering of orca that lasts for 1 month, 1 month and a half, where you can meet again and again and again the same animal, because, okay, there is maybe 1,000 orca, be in one place, you can meet the same pod and follow him, and then do a study on some weeks and days, and build something between them and you, kind of trustship, and then something like they come to you, and after they let you observe them. I would compare it to Jane Goodall studying the chimp, in the jungle.
Yeah.
You sit down out of a tribe of apes, and you wait, and one day they come around you, you're part of a thing, and they do their life around you. So you want to go into their system, and they're saying not just to see some animals swim by. And then when you are part of, they accept you, not part of a tribe, but to do their own thing around you.
Your existence, like
exactly.
He's not bothering us. So we're just going to keep on doing what we do.
Exactly. Not only looking at you, because most animal, what people can get is just animal swimming by or animal coming to see you. But what I look for is animal, okay, now it's enough, let's do our life, but they stay around you to do it.
Yeah.
So what happened to me when I was in Norway, it was crazy. There was this mother coming with his baby, and she was literally teaching him how to slap a herring.
Yeah.
And to eat it. And he was so proud, and they were doing it in front of us. So it was like a mother teaching to slap with her tail fishes, and after showing how to catch it, and they were doing it 1 hour, like, okay, you see, that's how we teach the children to eat the herrings.
But are you, I guess I assume that you are recording sounds.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
and you try to identify different sections of sound, or just to see if you can recognize it in another specimen, for example?
So there is a very different level in how you can study communication,
Yeah.
The first level of communication is what most scientific do, what kind of sound they use in what kind of situation. So this sound is more for hunting, this sound is when they're playing, this sound is when they're aggressive. So they categorize the sound in social behavior.
Yeah.
What I'm more interested in is the protocol of communication.
Yeah.
So I mean, as human, we do conversation. So it means to talk to you, I have to look at you in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And after I talk to Ariane, I look at him, so you know who I'm talking to. And after we have to alternate. You talk, answer. We cannot talk at the same time. We cannot talk at three.
Yeah, we can. We can.
Yeah.
We do that a lot of.
It's really the females can manage to do it, but
Yeah.
you give me one guy or one female to communicate with. It's good enough.
That's
And
true.
It starts to be complicated when you add more and more.
Yeah. But I mean, we don't know their protocol. So the first thing you have to understand, what is their protocol? So for instance, the first result we got, when you talk with people, you don't know, for instance, if you go in China or to another population, you don't talk the language. First thing you will do, you will identify. You say, even.
Yeah.
And you look at the other one to ask him to identify.
Yeah.
That is the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah.
And we discovered that they're doing exactly the same thing. They do it together.
Yeah.
They have this signal ID that we can call a name. And then they come to you and they say their name. And they are looking at you, hey, are you answering, idiot? And after a while, they turn around you, say their name, and they are leaving. So after they said, okay, we understood this sound is this dolphin, and where they are coming, they are identifying themselves. So what happened if we answer with their sound and say, okay, I understand this is your name. Look, I press the good sound when I meet the good dolphin. And then we started to create this relationship because the dolphin were super excited. They say, wow, they understood. So you can start a first interaction that is, I understood your name, and after he show you, he understood, you understood. So then he's taking his head, he's nudging, he's like crazy. Oh yeah, super excited. And he's excited because you answered his name. And after you go one step further, you create your own name is in dolphin frequency, that is high frequency. We can express. And then you say, okay, I got your name. This is my name. And then they understand it is your name, and they repeat it, and they even do a fusion of their name and your name, and then you're going somewhere, because they are happy, they are interested, and that's the most important thing, You want the animal to cooperate,
Okay. I have a big question.
Okay.
I really have a big question.
A big one.
From all that, what you said now, if I understand everything correctly now, you have learned to understand how to communicate by name.
Yeah, to initiate
some
a conversation,
sense.
to initiate some interaction. I won't call it conversation because it's
I understand. Yes.
Dolphin conversation.
And you have got a reaction back that seems like, I hope it is that, it seems like they understand that you understand.
So on this step, the good thing, we made a scientific publication. So if the science said, okay, it's true, we made some mathematics, so had a strong result, okay, they use the name. There was even a publication after by another scientist, so it's assumed that by science that dolphin use them. But it's very recent, it's 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They were the first to do it with dolphin and to present it in a scientific conference. So I won't say science is truth, but they accept this idea that is not very politically correct.
I understand, but you are there, and you can see and feel.
Exactly.
Yes. So of course, some sense of truth in it, is it?
Yeah, that's interesting what you are saying, because you can see. So I always say, okay, my purpose when I'm studying this animal or going over is to get into their mind. Okay, so if I want to understand if dolphins are communicating or not, I would say, okay, if I was a dolphin now in the studio now, how I would know these guys are communicating or just making sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I would know that,
Yeah, of course.
Because I would be a dolphin, you cannot use for instance, humans, we are using facial expression, we are apes.
Yeah.
So 80% of our communication is based on the face movement, eye movement, move of hand, more for French
Yeah.
or Italian.
Yeah, but it's,
So then, as humans, we are communicating because everything is obvious. But if you are a dolphin that is not using facial expression, and you see people making sound a very strange way because they alternate, and the dolphin, they don't do that. They all make it at the same time. Just to give you an example, the sound in the water is traveling very fast and very far away. So if you were a dolphin right now, you would hear all the conversation in Christiansson.
Yeah.
That would be like that,
yeah.
So in the dolphin world, you will hear everything that is saying every single people in Christiansson.
But
you manage that?
how can then they just decide what they want to hear?
Have you been in a nightclub?
Yeah.
So we have a system, so we can use what we call diffraction we filter the sound coming from one direction.
Yeah.
So when somebody is talking, we're able to filter the sound from all around to get just one direction of our brain. Yeah.
But are we humans able to do that in the water?
No, because the sound speed is different.
Yeah.
So our brain
Because
is
we are used to
wired
300 meters per second.
and in the water is 1,500. So our brain is like poof.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you go very often in the water, like I do, at some point you start to develop a sense of direction. Can give you an example. As a freediver, there's something very dangerous. If a boat is coming straight to you, you won't feel it coming, because the sound on the boat follow the wave that is in front of the boat.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're right in the path of the boat, it's super dangerous.
Yeah.
And because we are not used, we don't see where it's coming from. And if you go a bit on the side, you will hear where it's coming from. So we are a bit lost in the water. But when you go very often in the water with dolphins or whale, you start to be able to say where the sound is coming from. So you use another way of processing it, because our brain is using diffraction. It's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
But you have to feel more like almost the pressure of the sound on your body.
Yeah.
Disconnect from your
So
ear and feel
so
on
it's
your
not
body.
so it's not a hearing. It's more like the feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But-
Just like cod feels.
Yeah,
hears.
but that's what I'm supposed to say. Is like the cods don't have hearing. They have
Exactly.
What do you call it? Dots,
Feeling.
Lateral line.
lateral line,
There's
and
a lot
they
of
have
little
sensors.
hole, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a 3D feeling of a sound, by the way, because there are so many sensors. It's like an antenna. So they don't see the direction of a sound, they see the position of a sound.
Yeah. So we use when we go spearfishing, we use this to our advantage,
Yeah.
because I want to come from the top and down on the cod, because his
on the
sensors
side.
are on the sides, So not to spooking too much.
Remember, I taught you this in one episode, Örjan, about the direction of the sound, because you said that the sound travels faster under sea. And then I said, that's why you are not getting the direction, because when you're on land, you have two ears, and the sound comes into one ear before the other.
Yeah.
That's how the brain detects the direction. But underwater, the sound is faster, and then it's quicker into the other ear. And that's why the brain... So it's a brain thing, maybe.
But I did a system for that. So for instance, I'm recording underwater. So I put two hydrophones, at 60 centimeters. That is basically 5 times more than the distance between here.
Yeah.
So then I can record the sound, put it in my ear with headphones, look at the video, and feel the sound like it was in the ear.
Because then it's like normal ear.
Yeah, exactly.
The time.
Yeah,
okay.
so
Because
I change the dimension
nice.
and then adapt to
but
my
that's
brain the
not
time
as-
difference of
but
arrival.
you look. You are smarter than you look.
I do even more crazy stuff than you. Because this is the first level of feeling the sound where it's coming from, but the real proper direction is not made like that. What you do is what the cat is doing. The cat is turning his ear when he's looking for a bird and seeing where he gets the more pure frequency. So when he's getting in the good direction, he see where is the sound is more all frequency. Because there is a phenomenon that is called diffraction. Some frequency can go around an obstacle, the low frequency, not the high frequency. So when in the water, you feel the sound is a bit like if you talk about a sperm whale, a sperm whale is doing something like, and if you are not here in the direction of that, it will be more because you get only the low frequency. So it's a dynamic thing. You turn your head and you know where the sound has the most
Discount.
broadband spectrum. And then if you go a bit higher, you use your brain for that, and that's what we do when we are in a nightclub. We use an algorithm with our brain to use the diffraction to pick up only the sound that is coming from one direction.
You know, most people don't use their brain when they are going out in a nightclub.
But
They just leave their brains at home.
But you have to have some kind of communication before you get laid.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
That's called alcohol.
Talking about the ears and listening, my two dogs, the husky girls, they have, I think it's 44 different directions they can turn their ears.
Exactly.
I was on a trip this weekend on Freikollen, was some of the mountains, and a lot of snow all over. And they stopped, they sat down, and they were listening under the snow. I saw their ears just
really,
and then they just dove into the snow because there was a mouse or some.
Really?
I don't know. Yes,
cool.
and they did it all the time. So, come on, now we're gonna walk. No, but I want that. I want to listen to the mouse.
Yeah.
So
It's really fun.
yes, that's fun. That's fun.
But we have another problem when we study these animals. You have maybe 40 dolphins, and you don't know who is talking
No,
because they don't open the mouth.
no.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So they have an organ that is
But
internal.
how does they make these sounds? The
So
dolphins
they have
or the whales?
they have a kind of bag with phonic lips. So they like a horn, you know. They have two phonic lips with bags, and they press it like you do with your mouth, like this, you know. And then they are able to send a beam of sound because it's
Directional.
because it's going through an organ that is called a melon, that is kind of like acoustic lens. But
that's what we saw when we saw Hvaldimir. He has a
they're moving the
fantastic.
thing, they can imagine you have two mag light, two lamp, and you can with this send a sound, but you can also explore because they have another sensory system that is echolocation.
Where is this on the body? On the forehead.
And that's why they have this melon that is when you touch Hvaldimir, it's very soft. Like
Yeah. So let's talk
like
about
a giant
Hvaldimir.
nipple.
Yeah, let's talk about Hvaldimir because that is a beluga whale.
Yeah.
Yes. I've never met him. Örjan has invited me a couple of times just to be in the boat but I didn't have time.
I just invite you when I know you cannot go.
That's how it is.
But honestly, it's very difficult. It's impossible to find Hvaldimir. You have to be very lucky.
I know, I understand. But what I was thinking about is when he uses his sound or talking.
Yeah.
You said he doesn't move his mouth.
No.
But can you see it somewhere else or?
Yeah. You see,
it's moving.
You see this melon thing that is moving with muscle to change the direction of the beam. Yeah.
Is it just changing the direction, or is it making sound as well?
It's a lot of things. Honestly, because it's used for two things. It's used to send sound, so we are making a lot of different sound because they are the canary of the sea. You know, so they are almost doing Star Wars. You know, when you listen to them.
Yeah.
But they are also doing what we call echolocation. So they are sending click that is kind of sonar. It's like echography. So they can do with their two melon. With one, they can see inside you. They can see your heart beating and everything. Another one, they can send a sound in another direction, or scan two things at the same time, or talk to two guys at the same time, because in their protocol, and that's the second thing we understand, if I was a dolphin and I was talking to you, I would say Fabrice.
Yeah.
As human, I would say Ivan.
Yeah.
I have to. But if I am a dolphin, I can talk to another dolphin that is 300 meters. So you need to know who is talking. So when you are talking as a dolphin, you send your name, but the other one no, is talking to because he's in the beam. It's a very directional beam.
Yeah.
So it's like in the light beam,
That's
so
just
they completely reverse the idea, like us, like on the radio.
Yeah.
The radio say Orion because people don't see you. It's the same.
that's the same as these microphones. They are directional. If you go to the side here, then the sound is
Muffled.
yes, and if you go straight on top of it, then it's
It's the best position.
the best
Straight
position.
on top.
Yeah. There you got it, Örjan.
Really. I enjoy that sound.
No, but Hvaldimir, have you met him? How long have you been here in Norway now?
So for Hvaldimir, I met him like more than 3 years ago, and in 3 years and a half, I think I spent almost 6 months with him.
Oh, yeah.
So I start to have quite an experience with him.
Yeah.
1 month and a half here in Kristiansund. I was in Mo i Rana. I was in Kjøpsvik, Grovfjord. I was in Skjervøy. So I did spend maybe 6 months with him.
And that question must pop now. As long as you have been spending time with him, does he recognize you?
Sorry.
What do you think?
So honestly, that's a very difficult question to answer to because as I think these animals have a lot of difficulty to understand our facial expression.
Yeah.
If you localize a smile, oh, you smile, it's you.
Yeah.
Dolphin or beluga doesn't do it. Though we have a lot of difficulty to read also their, I would say, body language. Because what we express with the face, maybe we express with the fluke, with the tail, with the body.
Yeah.
That is very interesting too, because as freedivers, you can really get into that world, be aquatic and communicate with your body posture. That works,
Yeah.
And I think maybe with fish, see if you're aggressive, not aggressive, hungry, not hungry. When you see a shark that is hungry, the fish know it. And sometimes the shark in between the fish, and it's like the lion with the antelope. They don't give a fuck. They know it's cool this day. So honestly, to answer that question, I cannot answer. Honestly, I know that I do some acoustic, and I did this experience with the sound.
Yeah.
And he understood that I understood his name. He answered to my name. So we have this level of interaction where, okay, I know it's your name. So I would say, yes, I think you recognize me but I never recorded this thing without I'm sending a sound, I would have loved he come and say my name when he meet me, but he never did it. So, but it's also something maybe you have to build in time. But to answer you, they have a brain. The beluga brain is a bit like the sperm whale brain or the orca brain.
Yeah.
We know very few things about the brain. But what we know about the brain, what makes someone, I would not say smart, but have some high cognitive ability, including the memory, or for the human, we think the empathy thing, the thing we're able to project ourselves in our minds. We know which part of the brain is working with that, which neurons are doing it. For instance, for the highest function of the human brain is the mirror neurons. That is the spinal cell. So we know as humans, we have a lot of it. So we're able really, when we start to be older, a child cannot do it, but around 4 or 5, we start to be able to project into others' mind, to sneak a bit, to lie, to manipulate, to do politics,
Yeah.
But one thing very interesting is these animals, in every single part that makes sense to have a very sophisticated brain, are better than us. They have more neurons, they have more cortex, they have a bigger brain, they have more glial cell, that is the nutrient of the brain, so kind of the carburetor, and they have less, or you say a limbic system, that is the primitive brain. So when you study a brain of this animal, okay, for sure they have the best tool, better than humans. We are in between. There is the ape, the dolphin, the human, and after there is the beluga, the sperm whale. There is a club, sperm whale, orca. Said some dolphins, not all of them, and the minke whale also. We're very surprised because the minke whale is kind of this solitary whale. You think, okay, he doesn't have a brain; he's always alone.
I met him a few times here.
Yeah, crazy brain. Yeah. Where you see the brain, what he's doing with it, and after you think, okay, okay, we see it through the human mind. He's alone. But no, he's not alone.
Yeah.
The other one is 10 kilometers, but he's not alone.
It's a friend.
Yeah. Because we are apes, to be together. He's in a cave eating banana,
They're communicating through their version of Skype.
Yeah, internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. They discovered the internet long before us.
The water net.
The water net.
The blue whale is proven by Navy boys between Chile, I think, and Argentina and California, 12,000 kilometers. 12,000 kilometer distance, they can hear each other.
That's a long distance.
1,200 miles.
Yeah,
or Norwegian miles.
Yeah.
They should have made a song from that. 1,200. Oh, how much was it? No,
500 miles.
Yeah,
I would walk 500 to
that
see
was
this blinking whale.
that was what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
What it's a German joke, not a French one.
No, it's not a Dutch.
Deutsch.
I think so. Yes. Correct us if you are wrong.
So to answer your question, just to finish with it, I cannot prove it, but I'm sure they can do it.
As I said, you are there. You see things, you hear things, you feel things, and you can assume by what you experience that's a lot of it is as you say. You cannot prove it, but
Yeah, but that's the strange thing about science,
yeah.
The modern science wants to have proof,
Yeah, but I mean, for me, the people that know the more about the sea and about the animals are the people that are in the sea with the animals, obviously.
Yeah.
Then we know things because, we observe things and we interpret it because we are there, And there's a lot of signs that can make you interpret what's happening. We can give you an example. We had a sperm whale birth. So the mother was making the baby out in front of us in Açores with Fred. And after there was like sperm whale coming from everywhere. And the mother was pushing the baby to show it to everyone, Like the baby still has his umbilic and everything. After there was dolphin coming, she was doing the same. We were filming. And at one point, the mother take the baby and bring it to us and make us look at the baby, So when you are there, you say, fuck, she's presenting us the baby. And then you show it to a scientist. No, it's not true. She's just carrying it because he cannot breathe. And it's a normal behavior. You cannot prove it, but it's true.
Yes.
But when you are there,
that's what I mean.
That's
what I mean.
You know a lot of things, but to prove it is a different thing.
Yeah.
I can give you another simple example. In the 70s, the baby, before 1 year, human, they were operated without anesthesia.
Okay.
Because at this time, the scientists were saying they don't have the nervous system to feel pain. And they were saying it's too dangerous to make anesthesia. So they are doing surgery on baby. So my generation, if I had to be operated at 6 months, I would have been operated without anesthesia.
Yeah.
We should ask the mother,
Yes,
the mother you had some
of
pain.
course. Yeah.
But some scientists decide. So what is proven and what we know is different. Science is a long period of time. It is a lot of time to prove something or to move, And then that's where it's interesting as people to bring facts, ideas, or even tools to show there are some strange observations that maybe are worth to take a look at, That's what we are doing,
Yeah. Hold that thought.
You are listening to Just Add Water, Spearfishing Norway.
Okay.
Yeah, but,
what have we learned now, Örjan?
Nothing. Fabrice,
Are you not listening?
I'm talking.
Yeah. You should listen more than you talk.
Who said that?
Some wise guy.
Word from Ivan.
The wise word from Ivan.
But you talked about the interaction between you and these mammals, whales, and you had the biggest issue was to meet the same whale or the same mammal again and again. But now you have the good chance with this Hvaldimir whale.
Exactly.
Because this is the same whale, and this is your chance to know him every day. In a period of time, 1 week, 1 month, and you have the chance to make him recognize you.
Yeah, but it's honestly that's why I was so excited to spend a lot of time with it. doesn't make it easier because it's still a whale, It doesn't behave like us.
Yeah,
but
I was thinking about that also because it's what you told us. It's you learned the name of the mammal as presenting, and you presented your name. But where does it go from there?
that's a big difficulty. So my project right now,
Yeah, you were talking about. Sorry to interrupt you, but you were talking about presenting scallops to him, or presenting a crab, or a fish.
Yeah. So I had this crazy idea. I was here for that, but I haven't done it to create kind of syntax, to make some symbol, some sound, to make him understand. Okay, I understand this is your name with photo. This is my photo. Okay, let's take another symbol, and after I ask. Hvaldimir brings scallop Fabrice.
Yeah,
why not? It's funny, but sometimes some stupid thing.
I think it's a good way to evolve the language. Break down the barrier. Learn more
you have
words.
to make fun with him. I think it's like child. If you want this animal to interact with you, he has to find it interesting too. So funny, and you
true.
think what you are doing with kids, you are doing that. You're putting cube with image. We can be a bit anthropomorphic sometimes, and use as mammal the way we teach is playing.
Yeah.
That's all children learn. So the only way, if you are too serious, the guy is looking at you, he's leaving. You want to play with boys, something. But if you start to be funny, it's another story.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So we try to be stupid sometimes because stupid is a good way to be funny also. But at the same time, the most important thing for us is to make him talk. He's very, very not talkative, And it's very common with some animals that have been in captivity because the wild animal, they always come and they talk a lot, The dolphin, the sperm whale, they don't. And after a while, they say, okay, this guy is handicapped. They are living. He's retarded.
We are.
And they are living. And the thing with these animals that were in pools, or it was maybe in Russia, we don't know, they have understood for long that we cannot talk with them.
Yeah.
So they are not very motivated to talk to people. They understood, okay, even if I leave them, maybe he answer, oh yeah, that's cool. And nothing came back. Okay, it's funny. It's
Really funny, yeah.
I read something on the internet.
It's not politically correct to say Russian now.
Oh
to speak
yes,
Russian.
it is. About that project, what was it called? I thought in my mind it was Darwin, but it's not called Darwin.
Oh, Darwin, our research project.
Yeah,
Darwin is there and win. It's a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Dare to win. It means why we choose this name, because we have a stupid idea that has no chance to be true, and we have no chance to prove it.
Yeah.
But we go for it.
And still we go for it. Yeah.
Sounds like a lost case.
yeah, exactly. I always say that, we are not doing, I'm not saying, oh, I'm sure we are doing that, I'm going to prove it. I'm saying, let's take a chance. Because if it's true, it's so big.
Yeah.
What is this?
So the idea is that humans are stupid, that we underestimate a lot the way they are communicating because we study them like humans. So basically, we are going to dolphins and we are listening to them with our ears. Because as humans, we think, oh, we are human, we are the best of the best. So they maybe can do a bit like us, but not as good,
Yeah.
But my hypothesis, and I developed it being observing them, is maybe they use another sense to communicate also, because they use sound for sure, they use to identify, they use for something, but it's very limited. Because as humans, we are limited, If we talk, I talk to you. So basically, we put some sound in order, to make a combination, to give an information that is limited more or less to 30 bytes per second. 30 bytes.
Yeah.
0.1, it's not a lot. So we think at it as a beautiful, it's super primitive, It's like a very primitive way to communicate. My hypothesis is maybe they use another sense that is echolocation, that is a sonar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 3D sense. So basically, people say, oh, it's like seeing in 3 dimensions. No, we cannot know what it is. It's like if you want to explain to a deaf guy, to a blind guy what it is to see.
Yeah.
You cannot explain, It's like hearing, but there is colors, what are we talking about? So it's another sense. We know it exists. We know as a human eye is much better than a camera, that this sense, for sure, is better than a sonar and echography. Is like a scanner, perfect, and they can see your blood in the cell. We know that. They can see a 10th of millimeter. They can see at 100 meter distance a ping pong ball that we cannot almost do with vision. So they have a very, very accurate sense, 3D sense, using the sound. So the question is, are they using it only to see? passively, or could they convey information in that sound? And then it opened the door to a super, efficient way of communicating. I would compare it. It's like, okay, let's say we have a podcast. There is a football match. You're going to comment it.
Yeah.
You say, there's Erwin Haaland giving the ball to Mbappe. You can give a little bit of information through the voice.
Yes.
Not solo. Imagine on TV. How much more information you have because it's two-dimensional. Imagine now in a stadium.
Yeah.
You see everything at the same time. So the amount of information you can bring depends on the sense you are using. And then opening the door of the use of this sense of echolocation, it opened the door to say, okay, we didn't understand this animal for 40 years because we are just listening. And now we discover maybe we are not talking at 30 bytes per second, but maybe 1 kilobyte. And at 20 well at the same time. What would be the consequence of that? So we are the king of the world because we have language. And then we discover an animal that has a crazy brain.
Yeah.
There's
Of
this
course.
swimming naked in the ocean without iPhone and
they are
planes.
also adapted to their environment, the sea, much better than we are able to think they are.
Yeah, but they are, adapted is also, these animals, they are cultural. So if you take the orcas, some orca, they eat mammals, some orca, they eat fish, some they use sponge, They are one more level, adapted, okay, because, for instance, human is not adapted. If I put you in the jungle...
I would die for sure.
Yes, you will not make long, but they share with us this,
You wouldn't die because I guess you must have seen Lars Monsen on tour and Bear Grylls. You must have seen some of those.
Survive. No, but I do make really good monkey sounds.
Yeah, so you can blend in, just like
I would sit down with the monkeys and just hope they feed me.
But all that you do, Fabrice, how do you are you employed by someone, or how does that work?
So that's a very strange.
Maybe
project.
someday I'm looking at you at the corner here playing guitar and with a case. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I tried first to go. My project when I was 40 years old was to go through the academic, but I did some article, but it's a very difficult system because you cannot enter the system at 40 years. You need to be a student, after to work for a scientist, and after work for another, and go step by step. And then when you're 40, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I cannot at 40 start this. So it's a very, there's a big hierarchy in this system. To get it, you don't come with your idea and do it. So then I say, okay, let's do it on my own. So I have to have my own job on my own, and this is a passion. So basically, it's a non-profit, this thing. We don't have money, but we are supported by some crazy guy that give us boats for expedition. So two of them is the Prince of Monaco that invited it on his yacht for expedition during 3 years. And with a guy from Saudi Arabia that has a big yacht, also was in Norway with him 2 years ago. So we don't have money with this, but we interest people that want to see what is possible. But it's very unpolitically correct project. So you won't get money through state funding for this. You won't go to the official and say, hey, I want to talk to the whale. Do you have money? No, it's not going to work. You have to talk about something else. But at the same time, 3 years ago, we were awarded by United Nations as the best project for the planet. So still, we have some... but
that's a good recognition.
Crazy there. It was a crazy guy from the White House that loved what we are doing. He said, I want this guy in the UN. But at the same time, after you say, okay, give me money to talk to the whale. No, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
So I was trying them to say, okay, but if you give me money to talk to the whale, after ask the whale, where is the gold?
Yeah.
To a sperm whale. And then we get rich.
Yeah.
Even that didn't work.
But of course, I guess you don't do this to get rich, because you do it because this is something that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
of course, but if you pitch that echolocation project to this guy who runs this Tesla company, he's crazy enough to. And
one part of it, by the way, is now I think with the use of artificial intelligence, there will be more and more tools that are available to get into the signal. A different way. Because what is interesting with artificial intelligence is, he does it its way, He doesn't use the human way. So there is something starting that makes it interesting right now. Yeah.
Now I remember what they are hooking LiDAR up to, the Teslas.
Yeah.
because they are using radio for their cameras or for the
Very sonic.
yeah, but now they're starting with the LiDAR again because I think they had
it's complicated. Complicated. But for instance, I was invited by Google in San Francisco. They read the book Deep. I was invited to Google in San Francisco. So this is a subject that interests people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the difficulty with this subject is to go on the science level, I was when we were awarded by the UN, we were in the New York Times, and a lot of scientists were a bit pissed off about these guys that are swimming, because swimming is not very good for science, because you modify the behavior of the animal. That is true. You water, and they don't behave like they behave usually.
Your presence will be
and that's why also they talk. So they say, why are you going in the water? You disturb them. Yeah, but I'm going in water because they talk to me. I say, okay, like Dr. Doolittle. Good luck. So they don't like it.
You talk to the animals.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So it's a very difficult direction to go to. So I would say one of our first purpose was to convince the community that it was a real subject and something to study. So we bring evidence, we develop tools, because I'm an engineer, so I develop acoustic antenna, 360 camera, all these crazy tools that allow us to bring all the experience like if they were diving, because these people, they are not in water. So, okay, we capture everything with 360 camera, everything with acoustic antenna, so they can leave the thing like if you were in the water. And then they say, maybe. So now we have Harvard and University in Paris that are working on these topics. They got money to work on it. So one step, we are going one step further, is becoming more and more politically correct. But just that is a work,
I see.
But I saw an interview with this movie guy who has made the Avatar movies.
Yes.
And James Cameron. Yes. And he's really passionate about these things, all this life in the ocean and the communication with the other animals.
I can see the movie poster directed by James Cameron, Fabrice, dancing with whales.
No, but
so just to be honest, right now my way of living is doing movie, because I developed this 360 camera 5 years ago, did movie for New York Times, and I was using the science part of my image to do movie, and I'm going into this direction right now. I'm doing a documentary with Hvaldimir. But I mean, you want also the movie not to be a goal, the movie must be used for the research.
Yeah.
And that's why we are a bit ambitious. We don't want to do movie just to do a movie. We want the movie, if there is a movie we are doing, it must be used to spend time in the water to do real observation and research. I would prefer to go a bit slowly, but not to sell our soul, Honestly, like 4 years ago when we had the UN, it was like, Richard Branson wants to meet you. But everything is so much communication and you have nothing to show. I think the whale are talking. We need to collect some real evidence.
Some hard evidence.
Exactly. And then they will be super excited. Now it's just an idea with some cool observation. I would say some so cool that we are quite convinced it's true, but still.
So how are you going to get evidence? That you can use as this. You cannot ignore this, because
it's very, very simple. There is two ways to prove something. The first way is to make a crazy scientific article with a lot of data, do some mathematics.
You can move it,
and after publish it on the internet, and then get what we call the peer review from the scientists and say, it's true or not. So you have first to prove it mathematically, and after you have prove it to scientists that can fight your ideas.
Verify it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The other way, I think, is just to remember these are smart animals. They are very smart. So if I would say, I could say the very anthropocentric approach, I say, I will take the language of a whale and I will decode it. Because I'm human, I'm a god.
That would be as crazy,
Yeah, and then I will publish an article and show it to everybody. The other way I would say, see, this guy is smart in front of me, But he doesn't have the organ to talk to me, because we are not the same frequency, we have not the same organ. So let's build a technological bridge with him, so that allow me to see what he's sending and to send him the proper sound. So that's my last experiment, to send a 3D sound. And then but it's sure they don't have technology. We see it, They don't build plane, they don't have car.
No, not as we see.
So we have
submarines.
We have to reach that point, and then we are smart enough to make the other part. to understand what we are saying and start to communicate. So we have a brain, so it's a cooperation. So basically, to prove it, is one day I will go call people and I will push this button, you see?
He will come.
And they will do something like singing a Norwegian song.
But then you can. This is a proof. If I push this button, he will come.
Yeah, it's
if I
a
push
rocket
this
science.
button, he will come up with a scallop to me.
And sometimes I won't understand why it's working. You know, I used to say, sometimes I do experience that works, I don't know why it works. And sometimes scientists do experience that fails, but they understand why it fails. So sometimes rocket science is just, experiencing. There is a rocket, it's exploding. Another one this one is not exploding. And you go forward. And that's what we do. We try crazy things. We build crazy. The last machine was a gun that is sending some sound through an acoustic lens that's creating a sound that is detectable through the sense of echolocation in three-dimensional aspect. More or less, kind of hologram of sound. And we send it to the animal, and we see what happened. What happened? Nothing.
Nothing.
But one thing happened that is so annoying. I tried it with dolphins. After I tried it with whale, and so my first try, I would to 3D print this crazy thing with a computer inside, with a screen sending this sound through acoustic lens. It's a mess. Huh? And then I was going to the sea. I was happy it was not leaking water. Super. Yeah. I was doing it with orca too, nothing. And then I was going to sperm whale, making the sound with all dove.
Okay.
Lift. So this thing is not working. But the day after, the same group came. They didn't bring the baby, leave it, and we had this for 1 week. That is, I think, never happened. Sperm whale is a very shy animal offshore. If you just look at it. If you can see it, you're happy. Some people, they go for 30 years to see them. No, we had the complete 1 week, the mother bringing the baby, let him for an hour, go back to milk him 1 hour after. And after I say, wow, is it possible there is a link between what I did yesterday and this thing today? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, And sometimes it's so complicated because these animals, they have so strange behavior.
Mm-hmm. So
they can discuss about it all the day. It was very cool. Should we do it? They make a vote.
So
could be.
You don't know.
So you were basically babysitting a sperm whale.
Yeah, we did a movie from it in a VR in Norwegian, by the way. It's in the National Aquarium in Bergen.
Oh.
If you want to see it, you go. There is a dome there. You can see it.
Ah, cool.
Örjan is babysitting cod, pollock, scallops. Yeah.
Other free divers.
All the free divers as well.
One thing I'm wondering about.
Yeah.
I've a few years ago or many years ago, because you have been in the sea a lot around the world, Fabrice, and I saw this movie Nemo.
Yeah.
What's up with Finding Nemo or something like that? And in this movie, we see this underwater current, this highway of underwater current. Is this fiction or is this possible?
That one they were riding on?
Yeah.
The turtles were riding.
Let's go on the highway. We're gonna move.
Yeah.
So yes, for sure. Yeah, I think the current is for Disney, but the Gulf Stream, all this thing. But there is some crazy current. There is a very interesting link between the currents and the animals you can observe, because basically I would say there is surface currents like the Gulf Stream, and sometimes there is underwater currents and they go up somewhere. So I know where I was living in Gabon, there is one that is almost 8 knots, very narrow, going on an island, and this thing is like a car share. It's middle 6 knots is crazy in the ocean, but it's coming from the deep. So what you have to know, these crazy currents, they are called upwelling. We have one in Canary.
Yeah.
So basically, they are coming from the floor.
Deep. Yeah.
So you can imagine everything that is living in the ocean is dying and going down.
Yeah.
And then you think, then there is crab to eat it. No, in most places there is nothing. There's no life down there. It's just staying there. And it's pushed by the current, and somewhere it arrives in a kind of canyon, and this current brings it up. So in this place, like in Canary, there is crazy life because it brings the food, there is the light. And you have this crazy upwelling that is bringing massive life. I think there is one in Lofoten, in Andenes, with a spare whale, there's this big canyon, and I'm sure there's a...
You can see it in the topography underwater.
Yeah.
There's a really fjord under the water coming in there.
And I think the water is doing like this. It's bringing food,
so in a sense, Nemo was true. That's some
kind of.
In two sense, it was a bit over exaggerated, but another sense that is very interesting. There is
that's
a sound highway underwater also. That is very interesting. There is some layer of the ocean that trap the sound, because basically when the sound speed is changing with the depth, pressure, and with the temperature, so around the thermocline, this big change of temperature, there is a layer that captures the sound. It's like a fiber optic,
but is it then going in this layer?
Between this layer. So then the sound can almost travel non-stop, because what stops the sound is the surface of the ground, Some frequency they can go, so some sound can travel thousands of kilometers, and we think that's all the blue whale is doing.
So it's possible that the blue whale then is going up to this thermocline in this zone of water. And then they're sending this message.
Yeah, but we're doing the same in the mountain. I was sometime in La Gomera, here. I know this house someday. I can hear the guy 1 kilometer is talking to everyone. It's like, you hear it.
Yeah. I know this. True. And we can, there's a football stadium 500 meters away from us. And when we're on the porch, the direction of the wind is, and the temperature is correct, then you can hear the audience talking. And
so they can map it and put themselves in the right place to emit or to receive. That's their. I think that's one of their abilities.
Amazing.
Fabrice and whales. That's. I think one of your biggest passions.
I would say I prefer to say the whale and Fabrice.
To be polite. That's good. I like that. I like that. As a Norwegian, I have to ask. What is your opinion about Norwegian whaling? Because here in Norway, it's a lot of controversy. And,
we have a long tradition.
Yeah, we have a lot. Yeah, but I don't think tradition is good enough to justify things.
No. But it was a statement.
Yeah, it's a statement. But as a researcher on whales and obviously you get a connection with them. Yes. What do you think about that?
So first thing I would say, the whale eat fish.
Yes.
So it's not so innocent. Yeah. The orca, they all eat fish. So they eat animals, and we are on a planet where we rely on protein. And so the question is why it would be more wrong to kill a whale than I don't know, a chicken.
A chicken or a fly.
So then my opinion, but it's just my opinion, If you don't share it, there's no problem. So I say, if you think a whale is like a chicken, just go for it, because I eat chicken from time to time.
Yeah.
But my belief is I have to convince you there is some evidence that is different. So why is it different? So I would say, if I say, is it good or not to kill a human? Humans are sustainable. There's a lot, What is the problem, with killing a human? We have put it as a forbidden thing for one reason, because we cannot only say we don't kill humans because we don't want them to kill us. It's not as simple. I think it's because we are a social animal. So if I kill you now, you will suffer, maybe not. Maybe if I do it from behind with a spear gun, or right there, to be very fast, you will not suffer. But you have children, you have a wife, you have a cousin, you have a family, you have friends. All these people will suffer all their life of your loss. If I lose one of my children, I will get mad. It will ruin my life, because I'm a human. Yeah. So all animals are not equal on that. If you take a cod, you will make thousands of fish. If you take an octopus, 100,000. If you take a turtle, you'll make 300 eggs. Or even a chicken, you make an egg a day, and if there is one that is not eating in the nest, you let it die. It doesn't even feed him.
Yeah.
So some animals have what we call a K strategy. That is, they invest a lot of their children. I would say they love them. They develop emotions. And some animals, they create a lot of children.
Yes.
And their purpose is to die,
I
think the purpose of a herring is to be eaten, That's the purpose of his life. That's not the purpose of an elephant or of a whale, because a whale is living 80 years. A whale is doing maybe 1 less child than a human, by the way. He's educating it for 15 years. So imagine the loss for a whale, They share with us also the part of the brain that is linked to empathy and all, and we observe crazy social behavior.
Yeah.
So just to give you a very simple example, was a study from a scientist in Central Park. A girl came with a baseball bat and she killed a crow. Rah, rah.
Yeah.
And then she recorded the sound, and all the crows in the Central Park, they were mad. They were trying to resuscitate it, making sound like crazy 3 days. And after, she was wearing a mask. And after she came 1 year after, and when they recognized her, they became mad all the day. So it means this guy, they completely understood the lost one. They remember it 1 year after. They were trying to carry his body. So they are crows, And after, she did the same experience with a pigeon. She killed a pigeon. What happened?
Nothing.
They just wanted you to look like pigeon. It's not the same thing.
This is really interesting because
But I've seen the same things with cods.
Yeah.
Because earlier I went to this fish farm, and this is a fish farm that is land-based and has less pipes that comes out, and it's a steady population of cods around these pipes. And first time I went there, the pipes are down at 15 meters. I went there to spearfish, and the first dive I had down to the tube, 20 cods, 5 kilo, 20 kilo. No behavioral like they were afraid of me.
Yeah.
I went just lying at the bottom, didn't hunt anything, just observing. And they were just like cruising around me for 10, 15 seconds, and then they just left minding their business,
they called the business.
Checking me out, and then they just left again. After that, I went down, shot a cod, and then shot another cod, and they went away. They started going away after the first shot, and they went totally abandoned the area after the second cod.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I don't know if it was 14 days or a month later, I went to the surface, seeing these cods down at the pipe. I went down, shot one cod, boom, they went away.
Yeah.
And the third time I was there, while I was diving, the first dive, boom, they went away.
Yeah.
They didn't stay around for the first shot.
They learned.
Even the cods, they're kind of simple animals. They learn behavior, know what is dangerous, So it's.
But the question is always to what level,
Yeah.
And there is a term I love is non-human animal. Human-like animal. What makes us human? What makes the difference between us and an animal? And I think we start to be human when we care for the dead. That's the very beginning of human. We start to bury them, to remember them, and we become human. Before that, we let him die and we live. And these animals, they are doing it. For instance, an orca, when he's losing a baby, can carry it in his mouth for one month. Some dolphins, they do kind of ceremony, I would call it like that in Japan. They study it. They stay like days around the dead body. Some elephants do it also. So we see they have the real ability to project themselves into others' mind and to suffer psychologically. So if we understand the family aspect of human, and we can imagine, it's nothing I can prove, but these animals, they love their children as much as we do, or even more. And then it makes it totally cruel to go for them, especially when you go, especially for the pregnant whale and the one with young baby, that is the case, because the other one, they are difficult to hunt, So mostly it's this kind of animal. So I mean, if you care about this family aspect, about this emotional aspect, then I would say if you hit a whale and you believe it's true, then you're an asshole. But if you think it's like a chicken, it's okay, it's different. So then you have to decide yourself what is likely to be, and is it acceptable or not?
Yeah, but that's somewhat why I ask this question to you now, because since you have been, let's say, communicating with the whales, I want to say that.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
I want to say that. And you are there, and you see and you feel, and you know what I mean. So I think it's a very good.
But I cannot prove it.
No, but
It's something,
but
for me,
exactly.
You prove it by your stories, you know?
Yeah. For
And
me, it
there is
doesn't-
some
yeah.
scientific fact also that make it highly possible.
yeah.
you know.
For me, it doesn't matter.
So is it really necessary to do it with all the evidence we have that is most likely like that? That's my point, you know. So I'm trying more to convince people. I was in Faroe Island. I even had this discussion with the Minister of Environment in Norway 2 years ago. I didn't know he was a Minister of Environment. He was having an ice cream in Oslo. After the discussion about this, and he was saying it's sustainable. It's not about being sustainable. It's about ethic.
It's true. So, Fabrice, what are you doing next? What is your next travel?
So I think right now I'm finishing a documentary about Hvaldimir. So we are trying. So basically, the project is what I'm doing for 4 years. Beluga are cultural animals. So it means like orca or sperm whale, they have different geographic.
Yep.
They say dialect, maybe language, but sounds, we'd say. And when these guys meet and they have different dialect or sound, they cannot talk.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a bit like us. You know, if you go in Spain, it will be difficult. Then we know this guy was captured more or less around 4 by the Russian, East Russia. He was bring to Murmansk in a therapy children thing, and after maybe in the Navy. We don't know, but we know he was wild at the beginning. Then he was maybe for some years, maybe 4 years wild, and after 4 or 5 years captivity, and then he's wild again. So he's an interesting guy because maybe he still have, because it's a bit like a human, they live 50 years, 60 years. We can assume that 1, 2, or 3, they have the basic of their dialect. So my goal now is I'm trying to make him talk. I'm collecting a lot of his sound to see if it's possible to find where he's coming from, or even why not? That would be crazy, to find his family and then take it from there and say, okay, what we do now? Because my position right now, Hvaldimir, I think is the Norwegian government is doing a very good thing. They say he's a wild animal, he can do what he wants, and I like this. He's not endangered, he's not suffering. Can be a bit pushy sometimes playing with boats, but it's funny also. Or people that he find, he's going to play with you all the day, okay, but it's like a child, but he's not disturbing anybody. But why not? Imagine one day we're able to find where he's coming from, and I don't think it's possible. But it's always the same thing. Even if it's not possible, we can assume it's doable, and put in people's mind the fact that these animals have culture, family, and everything. That is my biggest intent, to show this story and to show they are like us,
When do you think this will be finished?
It should be out in November. It's a
This year?
90-minute documentary. I worked a lot
Oh,
on
yeah.
it. 3 years I'm working on it.
Who's narrating?
I'm writing it with another famous director in France, co-writing it, co-directing it.
Yeah.
And we are 80% of the process, There's already a lot of crazy story around it.
Yeah.
Even by itself, it's a crazy story. But behind the scene, we have even more
of course.
insane thing, that show how smart this guy is. And the very interesting...
And then you can say on behind the scenes, when there is a behind the scenes movie after this movie documentary, you can say that one time I was on this famous podcast and talking about this behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Exactly. Of course. And just add water.
Now, just I'll give you a very funny story. It's not a secret. It was more or less, but now it's not anymore. When I was first with Hvaldimir, I was with this very wealthy boat in the north. It was a Saudian Prince boat, 100 meter, no name, no IS, and we met Hvaldimir. And then the crew was South African. So it was during the Rugby World Cup. So they won the World Cup. And we were like all drunk in the morning with the ball, like, we are the champion, we are the champion. And that day, Hvaldimir came to us and he was looking at them and we were playing with the ball, sending it from one boat to another,
Yeah.
And one point, they missed the ball fell in the water while we were rushing on it. and bring it back to people. So we spent like 1 hour throwing a rugby ball. and he was bringing back the ball like American football,
I think
And
I saw a
then-
picture of it.
Yeah, this was crazy because one guy did post it, and it was making like 30 million views in 2 days.
Yeah.
And this thing became wild because it was kind of controversy. Why are these assholes playing rugby with a wild beluga? But the interesting thing behind the story is the day after, 2 days after, I was coming back without the crew, with the ball, and the ball said, okay, let's try again. He looked at the ball, he was not interested at all. He was going for a C-star, going back with a C-star. So my belief is this guy was just like us. He was like seeing all these cool guys, super excited, playing together. He wanted to be part of the team.
He felt the
The
emotions.
energy, he wanted to be part of it, like you want to be part of it.
Wow.
You don't go in the stadium to see people pushing a ball. You go there to connect with other people, shouting, supporting.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
It's like we humans know that emotion, that feeling, that
connection,
Yeah,
and he wanted,
connection.
I'm here, super cool, we are the champion. As simple as that.
That's nice. I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, we could sit here all night. Actually,
Yeah, I was thinking about we have to
Wrapping
bring
it up.
Fabrice more into the studio because we need to have episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 just with Fabrice.
Yes. And then we can talk about all the technologies, all the
all the
sonars.
cameras and the sonars. You should see this VR movie he has made with the sperm whales. Amazing. Go to Bergen and check it out in the aquarium.
Yeah.
Fabrice, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Me and Ørjan gonna wrap it up now, and I wish you the best of luck. And I'm definitely gonna watch that documentary.
Thank you.
Yes, and then I will just watch the documentary, and I will think back about this episode, this very
Moment.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. I will do that. So thank you so much. And now we are having an English podcast. We say Godspeed.
Godspeed. What is Godspeed? He's an airplane pilot.
No. We say Godspeed on your travels and your endeavors and your adventures and
Farewell.
Bon voyage.
bon,
À bientôt.
À bientôt.
Bon
Yeah.
vent. No, we say good wind.
good wind.
Good wind.
Have
Yeah.
a good wind, sailing.
How in French?
Bon vent.
Bon vent.
Bon vent.
Bon
So then we leave it at that. Bon vent.
You are listening to Just Add Water, Spearfishing Norway.
Okay, Ørjan, what do you think? Are you convinced now?
I'm convinced, and I'm what shall I say? I'm intrigued by listening to Fabrice because he's
So passionate
got so
about-
much experience.
Yeah.
And he's so knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable.
He's full of knowledge.
He's full of knowledge.
Experience and knowledge
Yes.
and good stories.
So, how do you think now? Now that we have started an English version of Just Add Water, do you think we can do this?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Let's fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just give it up
No, I mean,
while we're still ahead.
while we are on top.
No, we will give it a shot. I think.
Yeah.
It's the exciting part is to see if anybody wants to listen to us.
Yes,
So
of course.
If the people want to have more, then they will get more.
Yeah, the main reason why we do this, especially now with the English version, is that we really want to show what Norway has to offer
Yeah.
in freediving, in spearfishing, the nature, maybe the culture, and how we rule things.
Yeah, I think we will communicate a lot of our culture via the way we talk.
Yeah, maybe we should go easy on not ruining it. Then, you and me. When we first start, we can't stop.
Yeah. But that's the way we are.
That's the way we are.
I think the language slows us down a bit, so we'll give it up in
maybe.
small portions.
That's true. But after a couple of episodes now, then I guess we will be
Warm in trøya.
varm i trøya. That's a Norwegian slang for I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be comfortable about it.
Hot in the shade. I don't know.
Oh, that's a kiss.
Yeah, that's a Kiss reference. Yes. Neither one of me and Ørjan likes Kiss. That's not true.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah, not a fact.
Okay, let me just finish this now. Kiss are announcing their last.
Farewell tour.
No, the
Their
last
farewell tour.
the last concert ever now, December 2nd
Two
in New York.
concerts.
Yeah, first and second. So I'm going to Tønsberg to see them this summer.
But are you going to New York?
No, I don't think so.
You can ask Gene. He will give you a ticket. You know?
Yeah. Who knows? So I hope you have been enjoying this episode with Fabrice. No, I didn't say that right.
Yeah, it's good.
You
Wrap it up now.
Yeah, wrap it up. So thank you for listening. Visit us on Facebook, justadwater.no. There we find all the episodes. And we talk later in another episode.
Another episode. Maybe we can use that in another episode.
Yes, that was a good vending.
That was a good vending. Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, see you.
You have been listening to Just Add Water, the podcast remedy for your lungs.